I wanted to kind of unpack a little bit of, I think it's best to just start chronologically and then just start unloading as things go on. There'll probably be some exciting parts, and then, we'll try and keep the boring parts to a minimum and keep it to the meat. Uh, let's see what else. We got some stabbings. They've had some guns pulled on me a few times. Sold all kinds of drugs. But I was a college drug dealer, right? I grew up as a church kid, and, in youth group and everything. I started hanging out with a guy that was, I hung out with the older kids in youth group. So these kids that I knew from youth group, a few years older than me, I decide 18, I want to move out. Like, I don't like living at home. My dad's not there. All I've got are sisters. I kind of just want to experience being on my own and not having somebody making rules for me all the time. I'm 18. I have a job. I have plenty of money. I'm working at Cracker Barrel as a server. And I had started smoking weed somewhere senior year in high school. Like, for real. Like, I had tried it when I was like 15, but I don't even think we got high. We rolled it up in notebook paper. So, yeah, I liked weed. Weed was cool. I started working at Cracker Barrel. Everybody there smoked weed. And so, like, I'm hooking everybody else up with weed. Right? I'm like, okay, and I'm like, well, why don't I just get an ounce? And then I smoke for free. And then it's like, okay, well, I can get a better deal. We just buy a bunch and I don't have to go back as much. And then, I can make a little bit of money. So I'm kind of like at this, flat stage, or maybe I'm getting like a couple ounces or a QP or something. And, it's just people I know from high school. There's this group of kids younger than me that got stuff from me. Kids I went to college with. And then, so I'm living with Morgan at Cabana Beach in San Marcos at Texas State. And so he introduced me to his friend. His name's Josh. He was like this 6'3" fucking Mexican dude. Big motherfucker. He was from Lockhart. With some like Del Valley. I guess they moved to Del Valley eventually. But like, he starts he was a bad influence on me. I will say, I didn't realize how, like, I grew up with these fucking suburb white kids, right? And I meet this kid from a guy that I knew from youth group, from church. I'm very innocent at this point. I'm just, oh yeah, I'm smoking weed. Whoa, no big deal. We're having fun. He starts trying to help me sell my weed and shit. Ends up like kind of totally taking over the operation, but he knew more than me, so I kind of was like, okay, I'm just learning. But he saw, he was a shark, and he saw somebody he could use and control. So anyways, he gets me in trouble with a couple of my guys, but we end up selling like a lot of like schwags. We're going to get into pounds of really cheap Mexican weed, and nobody can get it out there. So we kind of have like a monopoly on that type of game. So like all the cheaper people who don't want to spend a ton of money, but they like smoking weed. It's real gross stuff. I mean, probably there's a lot of people who probably don't even know what that's like, because all we know is the good weed. But this is when that was first coming around. And so we're going out. I end up moving out because I get into it with my roommate, because he's lazy as fuck, doesn't clean. His mom did everything for him, and he's just moving out for the first time, and he's 3 years older than me. But we played basketball together, that type of stuff. Like, we were cool that way, and he's super smart. Like, he got me into conspiracy theories at 19, so I was watching Alex Jones, Loose Change 9/11, all that type of stuff, and then just obviously snowballed from there. I mean, I was super into it. Never really came across anybody that could talk about it until like 2019. So we'll get into that way later, because that's probably my strong suit. Like, I'm people say they're conspiracy theorists, but I'm like fucking super ultra nerd, reading all kinds of books I shouldn't be reading. But anyways, so carrying on. So I end up moving out, and he ends up like to a 3-bedroom, but nobody's moved in there yet. So he's just squatting at my apartment, and it's just me by myself in a 3-bedroom apartment. And a few months later, we get some dorks that move in. One like gay Asian kid, and the other guy was black, but he was chill for the most part. But he was like, he was sheltered, like he didn't smoke or anything. So we're just fucking, dude, we're hustling it, doing good. He starts getting me into Xanax. I mean, I'm not into Xanax, but he was into Xanax super hard. I tried it one time, couldn't remember what the fuck happened the night before. I was like, I'm pretty much good on that. Like, no thanks. You know, I like being in control of my shit. And so, yeah, we got into a lot of trouble. He taught me a lot of bad things. We'd go to the mall, and they'd all go steal shit, and I'd just like be with them, but wouldn't steal anything. They got away with it every fucking time. So, and then, so yeah, we're hanging out with these guys from across the street. It's one black dude from Houston. He was actually cool as fuck. He was funny as hell. He was one of those guys, kind of, I don't know, he's kind of like almost like a, who's the guy from Rush Hour, Chris Tucker? Kind of talked like that a little bit, but he was smart, actually. He was a really cool dude. But he had this random California Mexican roommate, right? They would just pair people randomly at this place because it was a college apartment. And it was kind of like a party. This was known, it was like fading out of its central as the party apartment complex. And so we're out hanging out with these guys. He got a bunch of pills from this other guy in the apartment complex. He's Xanax. And he's 6'3", 250, big ass fucking dude. And this other Mexican dude's just like a, you know, regular California Mexican, you know, kind of like, I remember him, I'm picturing him with like an Edgar haircut a long time ago. But so he's like bragging about, oh nah, dude, I take this many Exos and I take this and blah 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 blah. Like he's like a tank. Like, so he's taking these things. He's like, I don't feel them anymore. I don't feel them anymore. I don't feel them anymore. So at a certain point, he's just fucking gone. He's fucking out of there. He starts talking shit to the other Mexican dude. I don't know, just like some stupid shit, like you're fake, you're whatever, blah blah blah. And he's like standing over him while he's rolling a blunt. So remind you again, this dude's 6'3", 250. So he's just rolling a blunt. He's standing over him, just like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Relax, go sit down. He just starts fucking swinging on him while he's sitting down. He fucking stands up. Just like, boom, like these big old fucking bear paws, just boom, boom, boom. Fucking knocking him, gets on his ass, he just like gets up. He's like, take it back, whatever. He's like, fucking pussy, just beats his ass again. And so anyways, eventually everything separates. They go back across the hall, like right across the hall. And they're just, all right, they're like, okay, let's just get this over with and move on. You know, just like, what, you know, just sober up and everything. So the black dude left his phone. And so he's like, okay, I'm gonna go take it across to him. So he knocks on the door. He's like, hey dude. And dude, homeboy opens up the fucking door with a fucking steak knife he pulled out of the dishwasher, right? A fucking like Walmart steak knife, like serrated, pointed, like, I'm sure you can picture it. Fucking, you know, he got him in the neck once, and I don't know, he got him like 5 times at least. And dude, he's fucking eating these stabs and punching him in the face while he's doing it. Right? I swear to fucking God. He's getting stabbed and eating them. So much adrenaline and Xanax, I'm sure. He barely even felt it. He's just fucking beats his ass while he's getting stabbed. It ends up like beating him so hard that he like they close the apartment and all that stuff. So then the cops get called. I don't remember who the fuck calls the cops. It wasn't me. I know I'm the lone white guy. I swear to God, I didn't call the cops. I don't know what the fuck's going on. We got drugs, all types of weed and shit in the house. Actually, I think luckily we had sold out that day. So we were, sometimes it takes a while to like get the re-up, especially when you're getting shit coming from Mexico. Anyways, luckily, literally the hospital in San Marcos is right across the street. Right across the street. So cops come, they get him, we load him into the back of somebody's car. That's what we did. And drove him over there. And then yeah, we kind of like file a police report and whatever, tell them what happened. They kind of briefly search my place, don't find anything. And then, so he calls me in the morning, he said, hey dude, come get me. He rolls out like the back door by the helicopter pad, swear to fucking God, in the gown, his big 6'3" fucking like, dude, he's like this big curly hair, like the dude, you notice the guy, you know what I mean? How this motherfucker is sneaking out of the hospital, I have no idea. It's like that scene in, whatever the one where they make clones and they sell their body parts with Scarlett Johansson and Obi-Wan Kenobi guy, and that big football player breaks out, like the one that they clone to like fix the football player shit. He starts storming out. That's how I picture it, but he snuck out somehow. And I pick him up, he's just in this big fucking gown with all these stitches. It's like, oh dude, let's go, come on, because he's not gonna pay his hospital bills. He doesn't want any of that shit on record. He's just a fucking, street, doesn't give a fuck. Like, but he's a smart guy, like he talks well, he's got a good mouthpiece on him, right? Very funny. He had some other friends that we hung out with. So anyways, long story short, he ends up fucking me over, right? Like, I'm basically getting kicked out of the apartment because I got this guy squatting and they know I'm selling drugs that they can't really say it, but and really he's the problem. They look at me, obviously, I'm still a fucking church kid. I just like smoking weed at this point. But I'm just like, I see other, I'm hanging out, I get along with everybody. I'm open-minded, so I'm just like, oh, everybody's nice, blah, blah, blah. And so I just end up getting roped into all this shit. And, yeah, he ends up fucking me over. He moves away. Like, I go back and live with my dad for a minute, I think. And then he goes back to live with his mom or whatever. And then I still have money. Like, I know how to manage my money. He just go spend it. We go out to eat all the time, whatever. And so I loan him some shit so he can get back on his feet. So I give him like a whole quarter pound of weed. And he doesn't pay me back. He's just like, sorry, I had to come up. My bad. Dude, mind you, we've been hanging out for like a year, just all day, every day. Like partners, buddies. I think this is my friend. This is a friend to one of my friends. It ends up just being like, fuck you. I'm keeping it. It's like $1,500 worth of shit, maybe like $1,200. And I'm just like, what the fuck, man? So then, yeah, like, I don't know, this starts like a long series of betrayals, and it's like people can sense my empathy, but they can tell I'm intelligent, and so they want to manipulate me and use me. Yeah, I mean, it's my fault, you know what I mean? But I was raised very innocent, so this is how I end up starting to sell the cocaine. So we'll make that the next chapter. We'll start talking about that next. Just wanted to kind of get y'all something, because I just post like memes and I could tell everybody's like, what the fuck? When's he gonna talk about it? So we'll leave that here, and then I'll work on the rest.